Hello everybody, welcome back to another Q&A video, which this time will actually have a title. I'm going to call it Fuck You Grouper BB Media. Let me explain. I tried to upload another one of my older videos, which I've been doing quite frequently. I tried to upload Resident Evil Afterlife, and it got flagged by Content ID. Content ID, if you're not familiar, is the automated system YouTube has placed on all videos that basically scans any uploaded video and goes to a huge archive of what they have filed. If it matches one of their files, it flags it as Content ID. Okay? Now, naturally, movie reviews will do that. And yeah, the system is shit. Everybody knows that. It's just shit. However, you can fight them, because you can send a message saying, no, this has been flagged incorrectly. Mine is a review, as in fair use. And that's usually where it ends. They sometimes come back and say, no, you're wrong, and then you have to say it again. But that's usually where it ends. But on the Resident Evil Afterlife video, I first got the Content ID from 3 different people. One of them was Sony. I sent off the little pre-written thing about how it's fair use and all this blah blah blah. 2 out of the 3 said, fine, have your video back. One of them was Sony. However, Grouper BB Media said no. I sent it again. They still said no. So, once you get to the second time, you have to put in a little bit of information. But in essence, it's still the exact same stuff you've already sent 2 times. However, again, that's usually where it ends. If it goes that far, that's usually where it ends. Takes 30 fucking days, but that's usually where it ends. Not this time, because Grouper BB Media came back and said, no, you're wrong, we are taking down your video, and giving me a copyright sanction, which is bad. 3 of those and your channel is deleted. So it's a big fucking deal. So, the video was taken down. I got a copyright sanction because YouTube's policy is guilty until proven innocent. But I have sent a counter notification, which basically says, okay, if you're correct, then sue me. And they won't. They never will. No company on the planet would be that stupid. And secondly, I'm in the right. My video was on Blip for more than a fucking year without any problems. And if they're not bothering with that, then it's just YouTube's shitty system. So, I'm waiting for that to get better. That will be released within about 10 days, give or take, because there was a bit of a problem with the first sending of the thing. So, however, while that's on there, I can't really upload any reviews because I can't appeal the copyright. So if it comes back as Content ID, and you'll have various different kinds of Content ID. First, you'll have one that says blocked in some countries, which might as well say blocked in all countries because it's only playable in like Guam. Fuck knows why. So yeah, it's a pain in the arse, and I can't appeal any copyright things at this time. So I'm going to have to wait it out. So that's why I'm doing this. Sorry if that was a bit of a long intro, but I just wanted to explain the situation, why the reviews are going to be a little bit backed up. Because I just can't, because I could put it up, but there's even more chance of the channel getting deleted, and I don't want that to happen because I've worked on this channel for a long time, and all you subscribers are incredibly valuable to me, and I don't want to lose you people. So that's the main reason. So yeah, that's why I'm doing another Q&A. I hope you enjoy. So I got my question laptop with a new case. Yeah. And we are going to start and hopefully be a bit more light-hearted because that's been pissing me off all week. So yeah. As always, if you wish to submit questions, please put them in the comments. Please put them on my Tumblr. You can even put them anonymously there if you so wish. I know some people actually do like to do that. There's also my Twitter and the Facebook page. I also have a Patreon page. please go and look at that. If you're feeling generous, please donate. It supports the show, it really does, and it would be amazing if you would do that. So now that's all out of the way, let's get on with the questions. Starting out with something a bit more random. Question from Stephanie Sermon. If you could either be a samurai warrior or a ninja, which would you choose to be? I have absolutely no idea. Next question is from Andrew Dorman. First part is, do you have any favourite film directors? And the second part is, do you have any favourite comic book writers? Film directors, not so much. Mainly because I find that it's very rare to have a film director where there isn't some hits and some misses. I mean, that's just the way it goes. I mean, not everything can be perfect from them, especially per person. You know, tastes are different. But some of the more ones I really like would be like Guillermo del Toro. He's a definite big favourite. Again, some of his films I've not really liked. You know, Blade 2 was alright. Not really my thing though. And that's what it comes down to, is that a lot of directors do very different things. I mean, with Del Toro, it's a bit better because his style is very consistent. And he has a lot of similar kind of stuff within his movies. So that's probably why he's my, number one, not favourite, but most liked. But yeah, some of his films are a lot better than others. A lot of the earlier stuff I'm not much of a fan of as I am the newer stuff. For example, I really like Pan's Labyrinth, but I really didn't like The Devil's Backbone. Not my kind of thing. Interesting interpretations and all that. Interesting film. It's not really my kind of thing. And that's just the way it is. Another one. See, I like a lot of Tarantino, but I don't like all of his stuff. I didn't really like Inglourious Basterds, for example. I didn't really like it. I think it went on way too fucking long. And that's just my opinion. It had great moments, but I don't think it was the best of his stuff. And I like the obvious ones like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, all that stuff. He's a great director of conversations, I find, which is very difficult to do, because a lot of directors are more used to doing action, or they prefer to do action because it's a bit more interesting. However, I find that if you can film a conversation correctly like Tarantino does, it can be just as interesting as anything else. A lot of directors kind of, they kind of fall into that sort of trap of just having a two-shot, over-the-shoulder shot, two-shot, moving shot. It's very standard, and perfect example would be George Lucas. If you look at all the prequels, which we probably won't ever talk about, let's be honest, they're all the filming, all the conversations are filmed exactly identical. And that's a problem with some directors. So yeah, Tarantino and Del Toro, not all of their stuff, definitely not a favourite, but I really like them a lot because they have very different styles, and what they do really well. And of course, part two of that is, do I have any favourite comic book writers? In this case, I do. We've got Warren Ellis, absolutely my favourite comic book writer of all time. I've got a shit ton of his comics, and I love everything that guy does. In fact, if you want to know more about Warren Ellis, because I know he's not as well known as he should be, look up a documentary called Warren Ellis Captured Ghosts. It is a fantastic documentary about this guy, and it's perfect in every way as a documentary, because it introduces you to his stuff, introduces to his style, introduces to his humour, because he's one funny son of a bitch. And if you look up any interviews with the guy as well, interviews, always hilarious. I love the guy. Anything he does, I will read. Simple as that. I'm definitely trying to collect all of his stuff. Some of his stuff that I would recommend if you want to get into Warren Ellis, Transmetropolitan, probably one of his larger bodies of work. That's a really good series. It's basically about a Hunter S. Thompson style journalist in the far future, and it's got a lot of political stuff, and it's very interesting because it looks at the future and it gives it a kind of more real tone. It's very good. And for example, it did actually predict Twitter. It did. So yeah, Transmetropolitan is definitely a good one. If you want standalone stories, look up Black Summer. I'm not even going to mention that. Just look it up, and if you like it, you'll love it. If you hate it, you'll hate it even more. But I'm not going to mention anything about it, but Black Summer is one of my favourite standalone comics ever made, because the art is amazing as well. Who did the art for that? I think it's a guy called Juan Jose Reap, I think his name is. And his art is amazing. Seriously, the best art I've ever seen. It's just a feast for the eyes, but it's also incredibly well written and very thought-provoking. Fantastic. Black Summer, Transmetropolitan. Look them up. You won't be disappointed. Unless you will be. Dylan Woodson asks, I looked at your old channel art, and around your left ankle there appeared to be a reverse bear trap from the Saw films. Does this mean we could one day hope for a series of Saw reviews? Yes, if you look at the old channel art, which they might not be that much out there anymore, but yes, there was a reverse bear trap. I specifically said to the artist to put that in because that indeed was the plan at the time. I was going to do the Saw series. I'm still going to do it. Definitely. That's definitely one of the top 5 series I'm definitely going to be looking at. I can't say how soon, but I'll be definitely looking at them because I've got a shit ton to say about that. A lot. So yes, I will be looking at the Saw films. Should be a really interesting series because I'm probably going to deal with it a little bit different to other people. Yeah, I don't know how much I should give away at this point because that would kind of spoil the videos. But let's just say... after Saw 5, the series really shits the bed. And it's not that great before that either. So, yeah, look out for those. They will be happening. I can't really say when, but they definitely will be happening. Rigor Mortis asks, nice name by the way, could you please review the original Crow film? Now, yes, the Crow films were one of the first things I ever did. And I did actually plan on looking at the first and best Crow film. However, at the time, I wasn't particularly good at it. So I wrote about, I think, something along the lines of 2 or 3 pages worth. And then I just thought, no, there's no way I can do this justice at this point. However, now I feel I've gotten a bit more au fait with the whole idea with it. And I think I'm a lot better. And my style is more refined. At least I hope so. So, yes, that again is something I definitely want to look at. But again, I can't really say when. It's definitely in the pipeline though. And I definitely want to look at it because, again, I got a lot to say about it. Because, yeah, it is a good film. It's a great film. It's got great performances. It's got great acting and all that stuff. But there's still a lot of stuff I want to talk about, especially when it relates to the original graphic novel as well. So that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that I want to go into, especially now that they're coming out with a remake, apparently. No idea. So yeah, look out for that one as well. Barry Preston asks, would you ever review the first 3 of the Dead trilogy? Now, of course, one of my earlier videos was looking at Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. And yes, again, I do want to look at the originals. It's kind of difficult because there's so many versions, especially of the first one. There's the original black and white. Not sure if I'll look at that. I don't know. Black and white's just not really my thing. I appreciate black and white film. Some black and white films are amazing, but that one, I don't know. It's been done before a lot. If you want to see a pretty good review of that, I do believe the Angry Video Game Nerd did actually a pretty decent review of that, actually. So yeah, but there is actually a kind of a remake almost from Tom Savini. Tom Savini does the special effects for all the original of the Dead films. I think I think he did the first 2. I think the third one was Greg Nicotero, but I can't be sure. But anyway, yeah, there was sort of a 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead, and it's a pretty damn good film actually, because it doesn't do what the first one did. It changes things up. It's not just the exact same story, you know. And you got Tony Todd, who's awesome in that film. It's a pretty good film, and what's strange about it is that it is the most standard zombie movie you could ever imagine, but that's not a bad thing, because it takes the zombie movie tropes and doesn't add any gimmicks to it. There's no gimmick. It's a house and there are zombies and the people in the house fight the zombies. That's it. There's no gimmicks like you have nowadays. There's no ridiculous stuff. It's just the barest essentials, and it's all held together by fantastic character moments and just fantastic character interactions and the way the characters evolve and change and all this stuff. It's pretty damn good. And again, there's so many little things here and there that I'd love to talk about as well. So yeah, I definitely want to look at the 1990 remake. Not so much the black and white one. Again, Angry Video Game Nerd video. Go watch that. It's pretty good. Dawn of the Dead, I really want to fucking look at that. I won't say why, but I really want to look at that. It's one of my pet peeves, is Dawn of the Dead. But I'll move away from that for now. Now, Day of the Dead, I have said on several occasions, is actually my favourite zombie film of all time. Which is strange, because a lot of people don't like it. And it's probably the least favourite of many people. A lot of people like Dawn of the Dead, but they hate Day of the Dead, which just blows my mind. I don't know how you can like Dawn and hate Day. Day is a far superior film to Dawn on every level, in my opinion. The effects are so much better. The acting's so much better. The story's so much better. It's brilliant on every level. And I know I'm giving away the video here, but I will probably go a lot more in depth with the actual video and talking a little bit more about stuff. You know how I do it. So yeah, but it's still a fantastic film, and I think people don't give it the credit it deserves, because a lot of people are thinking because it wasn't really highly reviewed, and it wasn't a critical success like the others were. Because a lot of people thought, oh, the whole zombie thing is kind of played out, which is ironic because we're kind of in that state now. But it's an amazing film, and if you watch any of it, right, watch like the first 10 minutes of Day of the Dead, because that is quite possibly one of the best ways of depicting a zombie apocalypse I have ever seen. And it's so creepy, and it's so interesting. It's a fantastic sequence. That opening sequence is what hooked me into the film, because it's the scale of it, especially at the time it was made, is quite interesting. I'm not too sure how they managed to wrangle that, because it's so big, and it's not just, oh, zombies on the street. They filmed it in the morning. No, they really destroyed like parts of this town to make it look so good. So yeah, Day of the Dead, I love it. And yeah, as you can probably tell, I really want to look at those films. So yeah, that will be coming eventually. I'm not too sure when. Again, kind of want to sort out all this shit over here first. But yes, those are definitely on the cards, because I've got a shit ton to say, as I just demonstrated. And the last question is actually from Rigor Mortis again. I didn't notice that. Sorry. I see that you have some playthroughs of games on your channel. So would you ever think about reviewing video games in the future? Yes, video game reviews, it's kind of a difficult one. I've always planned to do some form of video game reviews. Like, for example, when I look at the Chronicles of Riddick series, I kind of want to look at the games as well, because the games are canon. The games they're integral in some ways to the actual story in a way. So yeah, so you got Escape from Butcher Bay, and you've got Assault on Dark Athena. So yeah, those are definitely something I want to do. Maybe it'll be a Let's Play. I'm not too sure. it's very difficult to say. But I did want to do game reviews. But the problem is, with game reviews, is I can't really, and this is definitely a failing of mine. It's not, I'm not criticizing anything else, because if the people who do video game reviews, I respect the hell out of them, because it's very difficult. It's very difficult because you have to record everything you want to say about these games, everything you want. And the way I do things, I don't really know what I want to say. Usually it's just, I put on the movie, I watch the movie. If I have something to say, I write it down. But with a game, it's different. It's different because some things you might miss, especially with games like Escape from Butcher Bay, for example, which is actually, it's kind of RPG almost in some ways, because you have side quests and stuff that you might miss if you weren't paying attention. So it's quite difficult. I might start out with something a bit more linear, something little less up to my interpretation in a way, something that's just one straight long story. Maybe, but I'm not sure. The main problem is just getting my head around the whole thing and recording it all. Because I did Let's Plays. I do plan to come back to the Let's Plays, by the way. It's a little bit difficult at the moment. But like Let's Plays, 40 minutes worth of a Let's Play, you're looking at 30 gigabytes worth, if that. I mean, that's probably being generous. So you have to be quite clever with what you want to do. So, you know, it's difficult, but I'll see what I can do. Like I said, it's something I've always wanted to do. So yeah, it's definitely on the cards. Again, I know I can't give much definite answers here. It's a bit of a problem, I know. But yeah, you should probably look out for those. And it'll take me some time to get my head around it, because it's a lot different process to reviewing a movie. But yeah. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It really does help. And yes, again, if you have any more questions, put them in the comments. Put them on my Facebook page. If you wish to like the Facebook page, please do. There's quite a few people there now. It's going pretty well. But more is always better. There's also the Tumblr page. Feel free to like that if you want. There's a Twitter. Feel free to follow that if you want. And all that good stuff. Also, there's the Patreon page. If you wish to donate, please do. It would be fantastic if you could to support the show. I'd love it so much. And again, I'm looking into redesigning the whole page of that as well. So yeah, go and have a look at that. See what you think. Let me know. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.